Hey guys, and welcome to a very special video all about Robocraft. Yes, phase 2 is finally upon us. It is coming tomorrow, guys. Well, maybe later on today, because my internet has been an absolute pain in the backside, and this video unfortunately is a fair few hours late, so I apologise for that wholeheartedly. There is absolutely nothing I can do if my internet suddenly decides to turn itself off. So yeah, I had no internet connection for all of 8-10 hours, something like that. But anyway, enough about my internet connection issues. We're here to talk about Robocraft and Maximum Loadout. Also known as Phase 2, the next major expansion is finally here. Here are the notes for the update, which goes live tomorrow. Or later on today, because this video is late, as I've already explained. But anyway guys, there's some gameplay in the background. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay as I read through the notes like I did in the last video. The last two patch notes videos have been quite popular, so I'm going to do this one again for you. And as always, if you don't want to listen, that's fair enough. Watch gameplay. If you're interested and you want to leave any comments or questions, drop them down below and I'll do my best to get back to you. But we'll get straight into it now. So we have the new Blink module. New high-tech gadget for your robot. Add to your robot and assign to a loadout key to use it. Aim your crosshair and push the assigned key to activate. Your robot will instantly teleport to a location at the end of your crosshair. If your crosshair is on a ground location and within range, you will teleport to that location. Otherwise, you will teleport to a point at the end of the crosshair at the maximum teleport range. You will need to practice with this module to get a feel for the maximum range. The blink consumes a lot of power, see below, and has a long recharge time. So I will see below shortly, guys. But that sounds really cool. So the blink module is going to basically be a teleportation device. So it actually says there that we should go into practice mode and practice with it. So that's one thing I'm going to be looking at. I'm just going to build a bot with a blink and just blink around a bit. Blinky now. Anyway, new disc shield module. Activate by pointing your crosshair and pushing the assigned key in your loadout. A small fusion shield will be created at the location of your crosshair in the shape of a disc. The fusion disc has the same properties as your base fusion shield, i.e. you and enemies can drive through it, you and your allies can shoot through it, but your enemies cannot shoot through it. Activating the disc shield consumes less power than the blink, but has a longer recharge time. If your crosshair is on a ground location and within range, the shield will be created perpendicular to the ground plane. If your crosshair is in the air or beyond the maximum range, the shield will be created in the air at the maximum shield range. Again, you will need to practice with this module to get a feel for the maximum range. So guys, that's the new disc shield module. For those that aren't familiar with what perpendicular means, perpendicular means on the same plane as the ground. So if you're looking at the ground, the shield will appear on the ground or on the same plane as the level of the ground. It sounds really good, this bit. It's going to make for some interesting little flanking maneuvers, I think. If you get a couple of bots in front with a fusion disc, one fires, one up, and then as that one's about to die, especially with platoons, you're going to be able to speak to each other and be like, right, 2 seconds for shields, and then the next guy gets ready to put his shields up. It's going to bring so much diversity to the gameplay and to the platoons and hopefully to the teams, and get teams start talking to each other. That'd be really helpful. So yeah, it's, again, they tell you to go into practice mode, so I would highly recommend that you go into practice mode, guys, and we have a little play with these things, because this is all completely new. It's a completely different game now. It might look the same, but it's going to be a completely different game. Anyway, I shall continue. New loadout system. For the first time ever in Robocraft, you can now put many different types of weapon on a single robot. The loadout system has 5 assignment slots. Each weapon class or module you add takes up a slot. As you add a new weapon class or modules to your robot, the loadout system dialog pops up and asks you to assign it to a slot. Using this dialog, you can easily rearrange your assignments as you like. You can also bring up the loadout system dialog by pushing the Z key shortcut when building, so you can tweak your loadout at any time. Your loadout is saved separately for each robot in your garage. Top mount laser wasp and front mount laser wasp are in the same class, so share a slot, whereas laser wasp and laser blaster are in different classes, so will take up different slots. So what that there is saying, guys, so you can put on tier 1s, well, if you like, we've got 5 different weapon types, so we'll call them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can put 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 different size lasers onto your bots, but they will all be assigned to a different weapon class or a different loadout slot. In combat, pushing the loadout assignment keys 1 to 5 on your number pad will select the weapon in that slot in real time with no delay. Ooh, that's good. Switching is instant and free. That's good too. Now, I have a mouse that I'm looking at buying, and it has an extra 5 buttons actually built onto it. So I'm wondering if I can get it to work with this, so I have my loadout keys on my mouse. So that would be quite good if I can get it working. New power bar. All weapons and modules now consume power, which you can think of as a resource, much like mana in a fantasy game. The power recharges over time, 100% recharge in 10 seconds. If you use all of your power and then switch loadout, the weapon you switch to may not be able to fire, so you need to manage your power consumption carefully. So what that means, guys, is all of your loadouts will share one central pool of power. So if you use 30% of your power and then another 20% of your power, and then you switch to a loadout which requires 60% of your power, you're not going to be able to use that loadout until you have gained another 10% of power, because you will only have half of your power outlet left. So it's going to make for some interesting tactics. You're going to have to, a little bit of maths, a little bit of trial and error to try and work out different ways, different ways of fighting, different loadouts, all that sort of stuff. It's going to be brilliant. I can't wait. I really cannot wait. But anyway, we'll continue. Weapons and modules also have separate recharge times. These are shown as progression bars around the outside of each weapon in the loadout at the bottom of the HUD. The recharge time determines the fire rate of a weapon. Adding more weapons of the same type often decreases the recharge time and thus increases the fire rate. So more than 6 weapons, guys, is going to bring it down. The power bar resets to 100% full on respawn, but recharge times do not reset on respawn. So although you come in with full power, let's go, if none of your guns are charged, you can't use them. So that's something else to bear in mind as well if you're playing BA. Recharge times continue to count down even when a weapon is deselected in loadout, or if it has been shot off. So healing back a module or respawning does not insta-reset its cooldown time. So that's really good as well. So if you've got a gun and it's been shot off, but it comes back and it's halfway through its recharge, it won't reset and have to recharge again. It will continue recharging from where it was. So that sounds good if they've got it into the game properly. Moving on, weapon improvements. All weapons have been significantly reworked to integrate them with the power bar and loadout systems. Lasers are now real high-velocity projectiles, as opposed to hit scan. Hallelujah! Finally, they've taken out hit scan. Oh, brilliant. And therefore you need to now lead your target depending on its distance to you. Continuing on, weapon improvements. All weapons have been significantly reworked to integrate them with the power bar and loadout systems. Lasers are now real high-velocity projectiles, as opposed to hit scan, and therefore you need to lead your target depending on its distance to you. Ah, there is a god. Thank you. They finally removed that horrible SMG laser hit scan. So where you just click on the guy and it says, "Oh yeah, you're here." So that's kind of brilliant. The damage of the lasers has been increased to solidify the laser as a close quarters weapon, as it is now much harder to hit distance and moving targets. So we now have a proper up close weapon. It is the laser, SMG, whatever you want to call it. This is how the weapon should have been used from the start, I believe, and it's actually, you can now use it, I believe, correctly. The plasma launcher now fires its projectiles separately in a round-robin fashion. You can pulse the trigger to fire one projectile at a time, or hold the trigger to unleash all your power bar in projectiles in a single clustered volley. Managing the power bar carefully is important with plasmas, as the 10-second recharge limits full volley drops to once per 10 seconds. So, plasma bombers. If you drop all your plasma, you better go and hide for at least 10 seconds before you can drop another load on top. So no more air being dominant, because the 10-second recharge... Oh, excuse me guys, fizzy drinks. But the 10-second recharge time will mean you have to pull away. You cannot just like fly around in circles and drop another load of plasma on their heads. Which is a shame, because I like flyers and I like dropping plasma on people's heads. Never mind. To compensate for the reduced frequency of the plasma's alpha strike, the plasma explosions now do an increased amount of damage in the centre and a significantly increased amount of splash damage from their blast. Wait! The next line makes me feel even better. So although I can only fire at you once every 10 seconds, I'm going to be doing more damage to you. Wicked. Mega Plasma now fire one large projectile with a huge blast radius and with increased damage to match. Wow, Mega Plasmas are coming back out, guys. Rail cannons now also fire round robin, and you can fire as many as your power will allow. So guys, if you've got your power bar and you can fit 8 guns on and 8 guns will charge up, you can fire 8 rail shots rather than being limited to 6. That's amazing. Rail cannon shots are now real projectiles, i.e. no longer hit scan, and therefore users need to lead their targets. The velocity of the rail projectile is greater than the laser. So rails are now going to be significantly harder to use, because you're going to have to really think about how far away they are, where they're going, what speed. Their speed is going to be taken into account. So if they're flying away from you, it's going to be quite hard to get a shot off. And to be fair, if they're flying straight towards you as well, it could be quite hard to get a shot on them. So everybody's going to have to relearn this game now, I think. And I think it's going to be brilliant. This really is going to be good. But continuing on, rail cannon damage is now applied in a more penetrative way, so drilling into your target is more possible with rail. The 6-gun limit has been removed. Recharge times now decreased further when you add more than 6 weapons of some types: rail, laser, plasma, nano. So that's really good. So if you've got 8 rails, your recharge time is going to go really quick. Same with all your guns. It's going to be a nice quick recharge time with the more guns you have, but then if you have more guns, you've also got more power going to be used when you shoot them. So it's very cleverly done, this, I think. Nano Disruptor fire their beams as short pulses in a round-robin fashion, as opposed to multiple beams at once. Additionally, nanos will deliver significantly faster burst heal rate if you add more to your robot, but at the cost of depleting your power quickly. So we're going to be seeing single-gun medics running around, I think. Where were we? To compensate the Nano's new burst heal potential, the Nanos no longer deal damage to enemies. They are exclusively heal only. So no longer combat medics or suicidal medics. We are going to have to hide if we are a medic. Tesla blades are now only open when they are selected. If you switch weapon, they close. Well, that's really cool. That's going to make for some really cool looking bots. Teslas do not have cooldowns at all and no longer get destroyed when you make contact with an enemy, and no longer need you to heal them to regain their ammo. Tesla blades now act like futuristic chainsaws, so the longer you have them in contact with your enemy, the more damage you will deal. Oh my god, that sounds brilliant. So I used to get one hit by freaking Tesla bots all the time, just get killed outright. But seeing a Tesla blade act like a chainsaw is going to be awesome. Oh my god. Each Tesla blade that is in contact with an enemy will deal damage per second and consume power at the same rate. The more Teslas you have, the more damage per second you deal, and the more power per second you consume. So it's all well and good having loads of weapons, guys, but we're gonna consume awful lots of power. So, you know, as I said, it's going to be a lot of maths, a lot of trial and error, a lot of trying different things to see which loadouts actually work. Aero flak and rocket launcher are pretty much as they were, but are now linked to the power bar and recharge systems. That's a shame. I was hoping they were going to take the rocket launcher out of the game, because I personally don't like it. I think it's an unskilled, overpowered weapon that doesn't actually work properly in the game, because if you can actually break the lock and hide, and the rockets will still come through and hit your bot, which I'm sure a lot of you had happen to you. But that's a different rant for a different video. All weapons now rotate their turret at the same speed, i.e. at the faster speed similar to that of the laser. Okay. I can see why they did that, but I don't necessarily agree with it, because a sniper's rifle is slow. A sniper is a slow moving thing, so why speed up the turning of the guns? Anyway. Firing weapons no longer resets the health regen cooldown timer, so now only taking damage prevents you from regen. Oh wow, so you can still shoot and heal at the same time. But if you take damage, then you stop healing. That's a pretty good concept, guys, pretty good. Moving on again. Free premium for everyone! We have added a new email reward system. When you log in, you will see a dialogue with instructions. If you provide a valid email address, you will get 1 day of premium for free. We will then send you a test email, and if you click the link inside, you will validate your email address, and the next time you log in, you will receive an additional 3 days premium for free. Words, they fail me sometimes. We are doing this as we'd like to be able to send you emails when we release major updates. We will never spam you or share your data, as per our T&Cs, and you can unsubscribe at any time with a single click. Other changes. Added more connection points to larger aerofoils and rudders. Yes, finally aerofoils have got more than one connection point, so that means you can have them connected in all sorts of weird fashions. So it's going to be amazing. Sorry, I'm just really happy that they've finally done that for aerofoils, guys. Increased health of larger aerofoils and rudders. Yes. Increased top speed of aerofoils and rudders. Yes! Increased flap force so aerofoils and rudders are more agile. Yes! All above aerofoil and rudder changes also apply to the bat and vampire versions. That's cool. Reduced ground damage of aeroflak, which is nice. Health per volume factor on cubes increased, so slopes now have less health, for example. Not sure about that. We'll have to go and have a look at what the blocks have got and what they get tomorrow, later on today. So give or take that one. League system recently changed to award to a full star every time you rank up, and you lose a whole star every time you rank down. So there's for your league players, guys. They've changed that for the way you get your stars. Enemy spotted audio changed to be less intrusive while playing Battle Arena. Added more servers and reduced the number of concurrent games on each server, freeing up memory, CPU capacity, and reducing the load, ensuring a more consistent and lag-free game experience. Wow. Thank you very much, FreeJam. That's really... thank you. We needed more servers, definitely. Robot ranking of aeroflak increased to reduce usage in lower class matches versus new players. That's a shame. I used to like going to shoot the little people. No, I never did anything like that. It's actually a really good change. The aeroflak ranking was a little bit low. Gun aiming no longer makes your guns point at your ally if they fly in front of the camera. So no more shooting at somebody and the mega goes over your head and then you stop shooting at the person, you start shooting at your own mega, which was really annoying. You can now overclock to level 15 in Battle Arena. So you've got 2 extra levels in the Battle Arena, guys, so that's pretty good. Battle Arena Fusion Shield now automatically goes down at 20 minutes and Protonivity escalates faster with the aim of ending more battles at between the 15 and 20 minute marks. So those changes there, guys, are a lot of those are aimed towards the flyers, which is really nice. It means we can get back up in the air and not get taken out of the sky so easily. And a few of the other changes are really good as well for those of you that play Battle Arena. That's going to be really good. So yeah, all in all, this sounds really good. Just run through the last little bit, guys. Bug fixes and improvements. Bullshit. Fixed a bug where players who are not the leader of a platoon can still invite people to platoon via the drop menu. That's really good because that's been in there for a long time, but it hasn't ever actually worked properly. Fixed a bug allowing you to sometimes shoot whilst alignment rectifying. Really? I never had that one. Fixed a bug where cubes that extend outside the mothership bounds did not have correct collision in battle. I didn't know you could build outside the mothership. Fixed some bugs caused when large objects were placed outside of the mothership bounds. What is all this outside of the mothership? I've never been outside of the mothership. Fixed the centre of mass of aero rods. Cool. The profanity filter is now enabled on robot names. Cool. Yeah, some of those were quite rude. Fixed a bug where sometimes switching to the CRF and back caused graphical glitches in your garage. Yeah, I had some crazy trippy stuff in my garage once. Fixed an issue where Vampire Wing and Vampire Rudder were incorrectly set up, so they now behave as same class aerofoils and rudders. Some improvements to reduce frame stalls and increase average frame rates. Cool. Fixed some intermittent crash bugs. I had 1 or 2. They weren't really that bad. I heard a few guys had some quite major crashes, but that's good that they're fixing them. Fixed a bug allowed plasma shots to sometimes pass through the base shield. Don't know. Fixed a bug allowing players to shoot outwards through the enemy fusion shield. Okay, I thought you could shoot outwards. Fixed a bug where inviting new players to a platoon sometimes did not work. Haha, had that one so many times. Fixed a bug where on rare occasions it was possible to go above 100% health. Oh really? I never had that. Ensured that all types of tester blade can be placed 1 cube apart when placed parallel with each other. Cool, because it was only the top ones that could be done with that, and the other 2 types you had to leave a block space. Fixed an issue which let the CRF show uncapped robot rankings. Fixed a pricing error where the Electroplate H and Electroshield H cost the same RP but not the same GC. Yeah, I noticed that. Fixed a bug which caused the garage bays of new players to start from 1000. Oh, so that's how you used to see them in a game of like Robo 1003 or 1013. I was wondering how they got that. Fixed a bug which occasionally caused players to not rank up when winning in the top 50% of a league's game. Fixed a bug which caused Tesla damage to not be recorded when hitting Megabots. Ooh, that's going to annoy the Megabots. Fixed a bug which allowed players to be shot even when out of render distance. Finally, fixed the LOML texture, replacing the text LML with LOML. I don't care. I don't like missiles. I don't use them. I think they really are an unskilled weapon. Spiked electroplates can no longer be put on Megabots even. Oh, I like the spiked electroplates. I've got loads of them. You've probably seen them on Severance actually in the gameplay. That's my little hover. But as always, guys, that's the patch notes for the update that's coming. Well, it's supposed to be tomorrow, but because of my internet, it's going to be later on today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you can click the like button for us, it's great help. It helps the channel out, helps me out, shows that these patch notes videos are informative and you enjoy them. If you've got any comments, questions, messages or suggestions, if you want to drop them down below, I will do my best to get back to you. If you would like to rent any of the, or buy even, any of the bots that you've seen in the video, I will be putting them back up after the update. So my robots might change, so I can't guarantee that the bots you've seen in the video today are going to be available. But anyway guys, until maximum loadout hits and we go and have some fun with loads of different weapons, take it easy and I'll see you later.